Hi, this is Kim. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties. I started making this video like 2 times already. Oh, when technology fails. Um, anyways, I'm back from my mission trip, and it really has been a life-changing experience. I have come back with a whole new perspective just on life in general, and that truly comes from just being over in the UK and experience the different culture. Especially in England, I know that they have this great way of making use of all of their assets as much as possible. They didn't like the idea of spending too much or, you know, being kind of like, it's not a consumer society like America is. And I mean, not that I have anything wrong with America, it's just the fact that we do tend to be a huge consumer society where we're always spending, and not knowing how to like budget it as much and use what we have and then reuse it. I experienced this difference especially in England, where the family that we were staying with, they just had this amazing way of knowing just how to reuse, the different assets and materials that they have. Like, I mean, every night we had a member of the church that would cook dinner for us. And they just had this great way of, they would make dinner the night before, and then they had a way of like changing it or tweaking it a little bit to make dinner for the next day or lunch for the next day or just something different for us to, experience. And it was the same food, but just tweaks looked different. And it was like, instead of constantly cooking and using electricity and everything, they they would budget it. And I thought that was so cool how, they kind of managed to budget, because I know that I myself, even though I'm a college student, I have the tendency to be a little bit spendthrift, and I don't even really think about it. But in the UK, it's completely different. Like, I mean, in in England again, like they have different switches for like internet and all the stuff, and for electricity and hot water, and then every night they would turn off the internet. And since the couple that we stayed with was really young and they had like two little kids, they were in bed by like 10:30. And me, I'm used to staying up late. So, and when I'm staying up late, I'm usually just messing around on my phone or on the internet. But then I couldn't do that. And I thought that was great because it gave you time to just really talk to people more and connect to people more. And I mean, it just makes you think, what was life like before technology was so accessible 24/7? So I just thought that was amazing, and I find that even now, even even though like I have as like a lot more internet and electricity and all of that and hot water, I'm still trying not to use it as much as I did before I went on this trip. It's really been just a really amazing thing. And then I think back to Ireland and how in Ireland there was a lot of we we didn't have all of the supplies that we had in like Scotland, for example. So we kind of just had to make do with what we had. We had to, make use of the different materials that were there. We made like costumes out of construction paper, and even just simple costumes like crowns and swords and little chains and stuff for the skits that the kids did at the end. We just made use of everything that we had rather than going out and finding some way to spend and get like high quality stuff. And I think it was cool because when the kids had that hands-on experience to build these different props for their skits, they kind of took in the lesson more and they knew more about what was going on. So I just thought it was really cool. We did the same thing in Scotland as well. I mean, we had the option to go out and buy stuff, but we decided rather than do that, why not just make the stuff? And it was great because the kids were so excited to make these props, and I think it really helped them take in the message that we were trying to teach them for the different lessons, whether it be about Moses or Jonah or anything, when they were working on the props and knowing what these props were for and how it connects to the story that they're trying to, you know, show back to their friends and family. So it's just been really cool. And then I just find coming back, like when I came back, I went straight into my family reunion, which was just like a few days afterwards. So the days building up, you were like buying stuff to like make sure everything was ready and prepared. And I found myself being in that same mindset where I was like, well, we could just make this, or we could just, do this instead of having to buy all this and this. And I was like, rather than spend the money, why not, save a bit? And it was weird because, it's like some of my other family members, they were like not wanting to do that. They just wanted to, spend the money away. And I just thought, like, this is so wasteful. You don't need to do all this extra stuff. It's not necessary. And I think back to how I used to do the very same thing. Like, I was in the same mindset when it came to, like, buying stuff. I was like, oh, let's buy this, and just do everything up big. It's like, it's not absolutely necessary. There's simple things they can do that can make even a bigger impact because it's homemade and from the heart. And it just has a much more lasting impact on the people that you're working with. So it really has been just amazing. And it's been like a week since I've been back, and I'm starting to get back into the whole swing, the time difference and everything. But there is still that whole idea of trying to reuse what I have. I'm trying not to spend as much unless it's absolutely necessary. And I've made it a goal for myself that from now and throughout the rest of the year, most likely throughout the rest of my life, I will budget so much more for my money. Because, usually whenever I work, when I go back to school, and I usually as soon as I get my paycheck, I'm going to do groceries or get this and this and this. I just have a list of all the stuff that I want to buy that I don't necessarily need as such, but it's just stuff that I want to buy, and I'm like, oh, now that I have this paycheck, I can get it. And it doesn't always register to save. So I've made a commitment to myself to, at least for every paycheck that I get, to at least put $20 aside for savings or something. And on top of that, I'm hoping with this new year that I will just spend that time trying to reach out more into the community. Like, there was last year I did a few stuff where I'd work with the program YES, Youth Encouragement Services in Nashville, but I didn't go that much. So I'm hoping that with this new year I'll be able to go. I want to commit to at least once a week working with those kids, because I really did love working with HBS and working with all these kids, and just to see the huge impact that they had on me and that apparently I had on them without even really noticing. I just want to continue that just being that kind of beacon of light to so many different people. So that is my commitment as a result of this mission trip. And I'm just going to pray hard that with God's guidance and His constant and giving me that strength that I can actually commit to this, because it's very necessary, and it's something that I need to really add into my life that would be very positive. That's it. One more video to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.